Happy holidays, Grey's Anatomy fans! It is officially Christmas 2025, and today we're taking a break from the OR drama to see how the stars of season 22 celebrate the holidays in real life. Adelaide Kane shares that she heads home to Australia for a cold lunch due to the summer heat down under. Her holiday non-negotiables include cat-proofing her LA decorations, drinking tea in pajamas, and watching Die Hard. Meanwhile, Anita Kalathara serves as her family's designated bartender and enjoys a spread of South Indian Kerala-style dishes, specifically her aunt's famous tuna cutlets. While she has retired her tradition of making parody music videos, she still rewatches the old ones with her family every year. In major show news, we have a huge return confirmed. Kate Walsh will reprise her iconic role as Dr. Addison Montgomery on January 29, 2026, in an episode titled Strip That Down. Finally, we are sending our support to original cast member James Pickens Jr., Dr. Richard Webber. Mirroring his character's current season 22 storyline, Pickens recently revealed his own real-life diagnosis with prostate cancer. Thankfully, due to early detection and surgery, he is recovering well and using his platform to encourage men to get screened. Hey, lovely viewers, welcome to our channel Grey's Anatomy Official. How Adelaide Kane and Anita Kalathara of A Grey's Anatomy celebrate the holidays. On Grey's Anatomy, the actors who portray our favorite doctors at Grey Sloan Memorial are not only stars, but they are also actual people with lives outside the halls of their fictional hospital. Is this obvious? Perhaps. But what time is better than this holiday season to learn a bit more about the real actors on Grey's via a few fun questions about how they spend the coziest time of the year. Getting a small peek at these holiday traditions is a gift for us and may even inspire your own seasonal celebrations. So, happy holidays from us to you. Adelaide Kane. What do you look forward to the most during the holidays? Seeing my family and spending time in Australia. Is there a special dish and/or drink you serve at every holiday function? We do a cold lunch for Christmas because it's summer back home. What is a non-negotiable that you have during the holidays? If I have time, I like to go down south to the country with my family. Is there an activity that immediately gets you into the holiday spirit? Decorating a Christmas tree and putting up a eucalyptus wreath on my door in LA. Is there something that you've grown up doing with your family during the holidays? We hand out the presents first thing Christmas morning in our pajamas with a cup of tea. Are there any new holiday traditions that you've just started? Cat-proofing my decorations in LA. Are there any special TV shows or movies that you watch during this time? I always watch Die Hard and Elf over the holidays. Is there a tradition you've retired or outgrown? Presents. I don't really need much, I prefer to get things I need, like tea towels. Or do an activity with friends and family instead. A gift you're tired of receiving? One you love to get? Not really. My family is pretty good about giving practical gifts. I love getting things I need. Anita Kalathara. What do you look forward to the most during the holidays? Spending time with my family. Is there a special dish and/or drink you serve at every holiday function? Typically, I'm forced to be the family bartender, so I always come up with a few holiday-inspired cocktails to make for the family on Christmas Day, and they're usually a hit. What is a non-negotiable that you have during the holidays? For Christmas, my aunt typically makes a full spread of South Indian Kerala-style dishes, and it isn't a proper celebration without her tuna cutlets. She will usually hide some for me because she knows I love them so much, and they're usually all eaten so fast. Thank you, Suma Auntie, you're a real one. Is there an activity that immediately gets you into the holiday spirit? Love to go ice skating, especially if I'm back home in New York. I love to go to Bryant Park. It always feels nostalgic and fun. And we just had a gingerbread housemaking night at our place, and I forgot how fun that can be. Are there any special TV shows or movies that you watch during this time? Usually on Christmas Eve, my brother and I watch a marathon of classic Christmas movies, and sometimes new ones. Last year, there were a lot of Gremlins. Is there a tradition you've retired or outgrown? My cousins and I had this tradition that we made a holiday parody music video every Christmas. We rewrote the lyrics to a popular song and made it holiday-themed. Then we rapped or sang it and filmed the whole thing. They were so ridiculous and silly, and we never have the patience to do it anymore, but we still rewatch our old ones every Christmas. Now, all the new babies in the family love watching it with us every year. Original Grey's Anatomy star James Pickens Jr. opens up about his own diagnosis after character's heartbreaking reveal. Original Grey's Anatomy star James Pickens Jr. is using a bit of life imitating art to spread the word about the importance of early cancer screenings. In the season 22 mid-season finale, it was revealed that Pickens' character, Dr. Richard Webber, who has been on the show since its first season, has cancer, though he did not reveal specifics about his prognosis. In real life, Pickens, 71, used the opportunity to talk about his own prostate cancer diagnosis, telling Black Health Matters, "It's not the kind of news anyone wants to hear, but to be honest, prostate cancer has run through my family. My father had it. He had a lot of brothers, several of them had it. I would have been surprised if I hadn't gotten it." He added, "I've got a 90-year-old first cousin, who's still alive, actually, he had it. His son has it. A couple of his brothers had it. No one, as far as I know, has succumbed to it." Because of this history, Pickens said he's been getting annual physicals for 34 years, and has done PSA testing, prostate-specific antigen, since he was 41. In January, his doctor noticed elevated PSA levels and referred him to a urologist, who did an MRI that revealed something suspicious. A biopsy then revealed a tumor, but a scan showed that the cancer had not spread. The actor elected to have a radical prostatectomy to remove it, which was done robotically by 2 urologists and resulted in a 1-day stay in the hospital. "We caught it really early, and so they thought that would be the best route to take. I do have a rare variant that you don't see very often. They wanted to on the side of caution and keep an eye on it," he told the organization. "It was rare enough that they wanted to make sure that they were crossing all the T's and dotting all their I's. But they hadn't seen one that was detected as early as mine." To further help get the word out about early testing, Pickens filmed a PSA with Black Health Matters, shared jointly to the org's socials and his own. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime, he began in the video. For Black men, the risk is even higher. Fortunately, prostate cancer is highly treatable, but early detection is the key, and sometimes there are no noticeable symptoms. For years, I worked with Black Health Matters to urge men to get screened regularly, starting with a simple blood test. He continued, "Today, I am living proof that early detection works. If you're Black, or prostate cancer runs in your family, talk to your doctor about getting screened starting at age 40. To learn more, go to blackhealthmatters.com. Grey's Anatomy star says he has cancer. James Pickens Jr., who has played Dr. Richard Webber on Grey's Anatomy for all 22 seasons, announced he has prostate cancer. "It's not the kind of news anyone wants to hear, but to be honest, prostate cancer has run through my family," he said to Black Health Matters recently. "My father had it. He had a lot of brothers, several of them had it. I would have been surprised if I hadn't gotten it." Pickens said he has been regularly monitored for prostate-specific antigen levels since his 40s. "My urologist said, because you were so diligent in that piece of your health, it was to your advantage. We were able to catch it so early because you were being tested," he told the publication. Pickens was diagnosed in 2024, and said he opted to have his entire prostate removed because his doctors wanted to on the side of caution. On the show, Pickens' character also revealed he had cancer in season 22's mid-season finale, People noted. Kate Walsh returning to A Grey's Anatomy as season 22 guest star. This will mark Walsh's first appearance on A Grey's Anatomy, since she returned in a recurring role in seasons 18 and 19, with her most recent appearance coming in the season 19 episode Gunpowder and Lead. She originally joined the show in its first season and was a main cast member through season 3. She then made multiple guest appearances through season 8, while she also led the spin-off series, Private Practice, for ABC for 6 seasons from 2007 to 2013. Since her time on A Grey's, Walsh has starred in shows like 13 Reasons Why, Emily in Paris, and The Umbrella Academy for Netflix. She will next be seen in the upcoming comedy feature What the F*** CK Is My Password, from director Steven Pink, appearing alongside cast members including Alexander Ludwig, Stephen Dorff, Kal Penn, and Adam Pally. In 2024, she starred in the Public Theater's world premiere of A Jordans. She is repped by Gersh, Untitled, and Jorn Levine Barnes. Grey's Anatomy, Season 22 kicked off on October 9th. The show remains a cornerstone of the ABC programming lineup, which also includes dramas like High Potential, 911, and 911, Nashville, as well as comedies like Abbott Elementary and It's Shifting Gears. The evolution of Meredith Grey. Every core member of Grey's Anatomy arrived on our screens wildly ambitious, slightly broken, and ready to grow. Over 2 decades of scalpels and second chances, the interns, residents, and attendings of Grey Sloan have evolved right in front of us, fighting to save lives and, just as often, finding ways to save themselves. But to understand just how far they've come, we have to go back to where it all began. In our new series, The Evolution of, we're going to take a moment to trace the essential parts of some of our favorite doctors' stories, starting with, of course, Meredith Grey. From the moment we met Meredith, she was a bundle of contradictions, a brilliant surgical student with a bright future, a core wound so deep that it would take years to fully unpack, and a desire to be loved, even if she couldn't figure out how to let herself be loved. We've watched our title character grow from a conflicted intern into a medical icon. Along the way, Meredith has stumbled, resisted, and occasionally run headfirst into danger. But she has also evolved into someone who knows her worth and chooses joy, which feels like a far cry from where she began all those years ago. Her origin story. For a long time, Meredith's story was dictated by generational trauma. As the daughter of Ellis Grey, a brilliant surgeon and emotionally distant mother, she was raised to be hardworking while denying her emotional needs. Her family traumas piled up. Her father, Thatcher Grey, walked out when she was 5. She discovered her mother mid-suicide attempt but was too young to fully grasp the implications. It was only years later that Meredith would begin to understand that her mother had already begun showing signs of early-onset Alzheimer's, a heartbreaking realization that would go on to shape much of her career. She found safety in Grey Sloan Hospital, then Seattle Grace, and escaped through medicine, where her natural instinct and curiosity would allow her to fix in others what she felt like couldn't be fixed in her own family. Standout moments. As with Pick Me, Choose Me, Love Me, the speech that's been seared into our collective memory, Meredith's most spectacular moments of growth have always been when she breaks through the wounds from her past and advocates for herself. When she made it clear to Derek Shepherd in the most poetic way possible that, yes, she really did want their relationship, it felt like a watershed moment for her. But she also came to realize she wasn't defined by her relationship. Just look at Meredith's face when, before departing Seattle for the last time, Christina Yang reminded her, "He's not the son, you are." Christina's affirmation was especially needed after Derek's untimely death, when Meredith was forced to live without him. She knew she could, but as she told him, she just didn't want to. While taking such a heavy emotional hit might have broken her when she was younger, Meredith moved forward, living life on her own terms and refusing to close off her heart, as bruised as it may have been. Meredith now picks and chooses according to her own desires but no longer avoids the sometimes painful vulnerability of love, especially when it comes to her children and her half-sisters, Lexi Grey and Maggie Pierce. In the operating room, Meredith's career has had a string of standout moments, like during the human pretzel surgery, where, for the first time, she was able to take point and fully identify a surgical plan before her attendings did. If the brilliance of Meredith's potential was ever in any doubt, she went on to take over as the Chief of General Surgery, win the Harper Avery Award, and lead medical trials with the potential for sweeping advancements in Alzheimer's therapy. But perhaps one of Meredith's greatest moments was when she realized that she didn't have to choose between her family and being good at her job. When her daughter Zola started showing signs of severe anxiety as well as a need to be challenged academically, Meredith moved her family to Boston, where Zola could attend a school that would be a better fit. Yes, it meant leaving Grey Sloan, Meredith's former safe place. But Meredith was smart enough to realize she was ready for new challenges as well. Some pitfalls. For Meredith, the authority figures in her childhood didn't keep her safe, so as a result, she has had difficulty trusting people as an adult. It has led to fights with her attendings and some ethically questionable behavior, like hiding clinical trial results to protect Adele Weber, getting suspended, and nearly going to prison for medical fraud. If the operating room is her safe place, then it means she has had to be extraordinary in order to secure that safety. It's a line of reasoning that's led to impulsive decisions that have threatened her physical safety, like holding a live bomb in a patient's chest until it could be safely removed, operating at gunpoint, and triaging people after a ferryboat disaster despite being overwhelmed and exhausted, a situation that led to her almost drowning. For a long time, there was no such thing as too much in Meredith's work life, a flaw that has led to both innovation and angst in equal parts. But the future looks bright. Meredith is a self-made woman, creating the family she didn't have, crafting a career that doesn't require her to compromise, and making the conscious effort to move past her own pain. She's grown, evolved, and poured herself back into the community who have supported her, both with expansive research and by nurturing the next generation of surgeons. For many viewers, Meredith Grey's evolution from a dark and twisty intern to a talented surgeon and a loving mother has echoed their own maturation journeys. She's a fully realized, smart, and confident woman who deserves all her wins. Grey's Anatomy, primetime American television medical drama that debuted on the American Broadcasting Company, ABC, network in 2005. The series enjoyed top 10 ratings, earned numerous Emmy Award nominations, and won the 2007 Golden Globe for Best Drama. Grey's Anatomy's title was inspired by the classic medical text Grey's Anatomy and alludes to the show's main character, Meredith Grey, played by Ellen Pompeo. The program focuses on the personal and professional lives of surgical interns and their medical mentors. Other notable characters included Derek Shepherd, Patrick Dempsey, Miranda Bailey, Chundra Wilson, Richard Weber, James Pickens, Jr., Christina Yang, Sandra Oh, and Izzy Stevens, Katherine Heigl. Most of the action takes place in Seattle Grace Hospital, where Meredith and her peers face obstacles, first as interns striving to become residents and later as residents who must define their career paths while mentoring interns of their own. Although the field of medicine is always a core component of the show's plots, much of the drama in Grey's Anatomy draws on the characters' personal tribulations. The show adopts a sex-driven and sometimes humorous treatment of its subject matter. The intense demands of the medical profession necessitate a strong support group, but the relationships that emerge often exacerbate the already difficult tasks of maturing in medicine and in life. The characters' love lives provide an ongoing saga, as the medical staff fall in love with each other or, occasionally, with patients. The word Grey in the show's title also highlights the complex situations in which Meredith and her colleagues find themselves, where there are no clear-cut black and white solutions. Kate Walsh is returning to Grey's Anatomy. Grey's Anatomy star Kate Walsh, who last appeared on the ABC medical drama in 2023, will reprise her role as Dr. Addison Montgomery in an upcoming episode. Kate Walsh is back on call at Gray Sloan Memorial Hospital. The Grey's Anatomy alum is set to reprise her role as Dr. Addison Montgomery for an upcoming episode of the ABC medical drama's 22nd season, according to series creator Shonda Rhimes' production company Shondaland. Indeed, Shondaland confirmed the news on Instagram December 4th, writing, "We're excited to announce the return of Dr. Addison Montgomery to Gray Sloan." Kate chimed in with her excitement, too, commenting alongside a heart-eyed emoji, "Here we go." After joining Grey's Anatomy during Season 1 in 2005, the 58-year-old remained a part of the main cast through 2007 before leaving the Ellen Pompeo-led series in Season 3 to star in the spin-off series Private Practice. She appeared in every episode of that medical drama for 6 seasons, between 2007 to 2013. Kate will appear in Grey's January 29 episode titled Strip That Down, according to multiple outlets, which will mark her first return to the series since a recurring character arc in seasons 18 and 19 between 2021 and 2023. Prior to the announcement of the actress' return, the series showrunner Meg Marinas had teased that fans should expect to see some familiar faces alongside Ellen's Meredith Grey throughout Season 22. "We'll definitely have a couple of visits from old characters," she told The Hollywood Reporter in an interview published in October. Meredith will interact with some of those planned visits, and you might get to see Meredith in her old house. And Grey's Anatomy's creative team isn't alone in their excitement for returning characters. Indeed, Kate reflected on the response she received from fans after appearing throughout seasons 18 and 19. It felt just beautiful and I was so pleased, she told reporters in 2021, per Variety. For years and years, there wasn't an interview that I've ever done where someone hasn't said, so fans are wondering, will you ever go back to Grey's? And so, I did. Kate continued, it was easy to show up, emotionally, and just all of a sudden get cracked open in the elevator because there's just so much. Throughout her time on Grey's Anatomy, Kate and her co-stars have been part of some wild TV moments. Read on to see the most shocking scenes from the show. Kate Walsh is returning to Grey's Anatomy for the first time in nearly 3 years. Walsh will return as Dr. Addison Montgomery on the season 22 episode Strip That Down, set to premiere on January 29. Kate Walsh is returning to Grey Sloan Memorial Hospital as Dr. Addison Montgomery. The actress will guest star on the January 29 episode of Grey's Anatomy. Walsh was a main cast member from 2005 to 2007. Kate Walsh is slipping back into her scrubs for her return as Dr. Addison Montgomery on Grey's Anatomy. Walsh, 58, is slated to reprise her role as the neonatal surgeon in an upcoming episode of the long-running medical series' 22nd season, Variety reported. Addison will make a guest appearance at Grey Sloan Memorial Hospital on the episode airing January 29, 2026, titled Strip That Down. The episode's plot details have not yet been revealed. The actress' appearance is her first on the ABC series since her last guest star stint in season 19. Walsh first appeared as Dr. Montgomery for the season 1 finale and left the show as a main character in season 3. Since her departure, she has made multiple guest appearances. Walsh went on to star in the Grey's Anatomy spin-off series, Private Practice, for 6 seasons from 2007 to 2013. After her appearance in season 19, Walsh went on The Kelly Clarkson Show and discussed her return as the fan-favorite character. It's incredible to be back, she said at the time. But the younger set of actors who are the new set of interns, they grew up watching the show. You're like, oh, hi. She continued, it's funny to be the elder statesman of the show. They're so beautiful, all of them are such great actors. Since its premiere in 2005, Grey's Anatomy has been going strong and is currently on its 22nd season. The series holds the record for the longest-running primetime medical drama and the longest-running primetime scripted series on ABC. In a 2021 interview with People, Walsh shared that she's not surprised by the show's ongoing success. Sometimes I do feel like I get a little witchy about things, Walsh said. I was like, this is a great show. Even before I even had an airtime and I was just on as a guest, I was like, this is a great show. I think it's going to be really good. And here we are. Here they are. Grey's Anatomy actor shares prostate cancer journey. James Pickens Jr., 73, credits early detection and treatment for his success in beating the disease. Actor James Pickens Jr., who stars as Dr. Richard Webber in the long-running medical TV drama Grey's Anatomy, said that being proactive about his health early on by getting my annual physical helped him overcome prostate cancer after his diagnosis in 2024. I started my PSA testing when I was 41, I'm 73 now, he recently told Black Health Matters, referring to the test for a protein called prostate-specific antigen. My urologist said, because you were so diligent in that piece of your health, it was to your advantage. We were able to catch it so early because you were being tested. Subscribe to AARP's Your Health newsletter. Feel your best with expert tips and information, including the latest on medical breakthroughs, Medicare updates, and more. Pickens Jr. has portrayed Dr. Webber since 2005. During the show's recent mid-season finale, it was revealed that Webber has cancer, mirroring the real-life situation for Pickens. In 2024, Pickens visited the doctor for his annual physical, which included a PSA test. This test measures the amount of prostate-specific antigen in the blood. High levels can indicate prostate cancer, one of the most common types of cancer. I went back in January, and when my PSA numbers came back, my primary said, yeah, you know what? It's ticked up some more. I want to send you back to the urologist, Pickens said. An MRI found something suspicious, so Pickens got a biopsy that revealed cancer. Further testing found that the cancer had not spread. When Pickens received his diagnosis, he wasn't shocked because prostate cancer has run through my family, he said. My father had it. He had a lot of brothers, several of them had it. I would have been surprised if I hadn't gotten it, he said. Pickens underwent a radical prostatectomy, surgical removal of the entire prostate. He added, I do have a rare variant that you don't see very often. They wanted to on the side of caution and keep an eye on it. It was rare enough that they wanted to make sure that they were crossing all the T's and dotting all their I's. But they hadn't seen one that was detected as early as mine. Prostate cancer is the second most common cancer among men in the U.S., just behind skin cancer, and affects 1 in 8 men. The American Cancer Society recommends PSA tests starting at age 50 for men who are at average risk for prostate cancer and are expected to live at least 10 more years. Men who are 45 and African American, and those who have a first-degree family member who had prostate cancer before turning 65, should also get tested. Kate Walsh books Grey's Anatomy return. The actress who plays Dr. Addison Montgomery will visit the ABC medical drama for a January episode. Dr. Addison Montgomery is returning to Grey Sloan Memorial Hospital. Kate Walsh will again reprise her role as the beloved, veteran doctor when Grey's Anatomy returns with Season 22 in 2026. She will appear in one episode, titled Strip That Down, airing on January 29th. Walsh last appeared in a multi-episode arc in Seasons 18 to 19. The renowned OB/GYN and neonatal surgeon had a recurring role in the hit ABC medical dramas Post-Roe v. Wade storyline that saw Addison and Dr. Miranda Bailey, Chandra Wilson, lose a pregnant patient in Idaho while trying to get her reproductive care across state lines, and making subsequent changes at Grey Sloan around abortion and reproductive care. Of Grey's Anatomy, Icon is returning to the show for Season 22, but there's a catch. Grey Sloan Memorial will be bringing back a familiar face for Season 22 of Grey's Anatomy. A new report has confirmed that Kate Walsh, best known for her iconic performance as Dr. Addison Montgomery, will return for the upcoming 22nd season of ABC's long-running medical procedural. This will mark Walsh's latest resurgence on the show after she returned in a recurring capacity for Seasons 18 and 19 from 2021 to 2023. While it's wonderful to hear that Kate Walsh back at one of the most famous hospitals in television history, fans of the series who are hoping for her to stick around for an extended period of time shouldn't get too excited yet, as there is a slight catch. As of now, Walsh's appearance in Season 22 is being billed as a guest appearance. Not only that, but she's currently only slated to appear in one episode, that being the episode titled Strip That Down, which will air on January 29th. Kate Walsh and Dr. Montgomery have been a part of the Grey's Anatomy universe almost since the very beginning, with both first making their debut in one episode of Season 1 with Episode 9. Dr. Montgomery's no-nonsense approach to medicine clearly made an impression on the growing fanbase, as Walsh was then promoted to a series regular for Season 2 and Season 3. Afterwards, Walsh still made guest appearances in Seasons 4 to 8 and later with Seasons 18 and 19. Compared to others, there are definitely many other characters and actors who have served longer on the show, but Walsh's Dr. Montgomery has made a clear impact as a bona fide favorite, with her romance with Dr. Jake Riley, Benjamin Bratt, being just one of many highlights. Many huge stars have come and gone in Grey's Anatomy's 20-year history. 2025 marks the 20th anniversary of Shonda Rhimes' beloved series, and since then, many big stars like Kate Walsh have come and gone over the years. Among the most well-known are Killing Eve and Invincible star Sandra Oh as Dr. Christina Yang, who was the practical face of the series for the first 10 seasons, and the Emmy-winning fan favorite has yet to make another appearance on the show. Similarly, Dexter, original Sin star Patrick Dempsey also served a lengthy tenure on the show as Dr. Derek Shepherd until Season 11, though he returned for a recurring role in Season 17. Only a handful of stars have been with the show since the very beginning and have stayed on board since, with those including Ellen Pompeo as Dr. Meredith Grey, Chandra Wilson as Dr. Miranda Bailey, and James Pickens Jr. as Dr. Richard Webber. Kate Walsh returning to Grey's Anatomy in 2026. A popular Grey's Anatomy character is returning to the series in its 22nd season. On Thursday, Variety reported that Kate Walsh will reprise her role as Dr. Addison Montgomery in a guest-starring role in a January episode of the long-running medical drama. The January 29th episode, Strip That Down, will mark Walsh's first appearance on the series in 3 years. Walsh has a long history with Grey's Anatomy. She originated the role of Addison Montgomery, an OB/GYN and neonatal surgeon who was then married to Derek Shepherd, Patrick Dempsey, in Grey's Anatomy's first season and was part of the main cast through season 3. Walsh continued to guest star through season 8, at which point she exited to lead spin-off series Private Practice, which ran for 6 seasons between 2007 and 2023. More recently, Walsh reprised Addison in a recurring guest star capacity in Grey's Anatomy seasons 18 and 19. Her most recent appearance was in the 2023 episode Gunpowder and Lead. Walsh has kept busy after and between stints on Grey's Anatomy. She's appeared in such popular shows as 13 Reasons Why and The Umbrella Academy, and can soon be seen in the upcoming comedy film What the F***ck is My Password? Dr. Addison Montgomery returns to Grey's Anatomy. Walsh's sporadic returns to Grey's Anatomy haven't been with controversy. Some feel that her most recent appearances on the series spoiled the happy ending given to Addison at the end of her arc on Private Practice. She's also not the only Grey's Anatomy alum to return in recent years. Earlier this season, Jesse Williams came back as his character, Dr. Jackson Avery, after a 4-year absence. Meanwhile, Ellen Pompeo's role as Dr. Meredith Grey, once the cornerstone of the series, has shifted dramatically this season. Well, she's definitely splitting her time between Boston and Seattle. But hopefully, we'll get to see her in Seattle more. Grey's Anatomy showrunner Meg Marinis teased ahead of the new season, adding that fans would get to see her in the OR and interacting with our characters more frequently. However, at the beginning of this season, she'll be mostly involved with the direct impact of the season 21 finale. According to ABC's synopsis for the latest Grey's Anatomy season, recipient of the 2007 Golden Globe Award for Best Drama Television Series, nominated for multiple Emmys, including Outstanding Drama Series, Grey's Anatomy is considered one of the great television shows of our time. The high-intensity medical drama, now in its 22nd season, follows a team of doctors at Grey Sloan Memorial who are faced with life-or-death decisions on a daily basis. They seek comfort from one another and, at times, more than just friendship. Together, they discover that neither medicine nor relationships can be defined in black and white. Grey's Anatomy entered its 22nd season in October. Walsh's return episode, Strip That Down, will air on January 29th. All 21 previous seasons of Grey's Anatomy are streaming now on both Netflix and Hulu. New episodes of Grey's Anatomy Season 22 stream on Hulu after their broadcast debut. Kate Walsh returns as Addison Montgomery in Grey's Anatomy Season 22. Grey's Anatomy is bringing back a long-running cast member 3 years after her most recent appearance. The long-running medical drama has a huge ensemble cast, with several stars leaving Grey's Anatomy over the years. The actors include Sandra Oh, Justine Chambers, T.R. Knight, Patrick Dempsey, Sarah Ramirez, Eric Dane, Kyler Lee and Jessica Capshaw. Chandra Wilson and James Pickens Jr. are the only 2 original Grey's Anatomy cast members still in a full-time capacity, with Ellen Pompeo making appearances every so often and continuing to provide the narrative voiceovers. According to Variety, Kate Walsh will once again play OB/GYN and neonatal surgeon Addison Montgomery on Grey's Anatomy, this time as a guest star in the January 29, 2026 episode, Strip That Down. Unfortunately, specifics about her upcoming storyline are unknown at this time. Walsh started on Grey's Anatomy as a guest star before being promoted to a series regular. Addison made a splash right from the beginning as Derek's estranged wife, who cheated on him with Mark Sloan. Derek, McDreamy, eventually left Addison for good and pursued a relationship with Meredith Grey. ABC used Walsh's character to launch a Grey's Anatomy spin-off called Private Practice, which centered on Addison moving to California to work at Oceanside Wellness Group. Her co-stars included Tim Daly, Audra McDonald and Paul Adelstein. Katerina Scorsone joined the spin-off halfway through its 6-season run as Derek's sister Amelia Shepherd before transitioning to Grey's Anatomy after Private Practice ended. 8 years later, Walsh returned for Grey's Anatomy seasons 18 and 19 in a recurring capacity for several episodes. After Private Practice was cancelled in 2013, Walsh went on to appear in several movies and shows, including Girls Trip, Fargo, Bad Judge, 13 Reasons Why, The Umbrella Academy and Emily in Paris. Her personal life has had some exciting developments in recent years as well, as she got engaged in 2022. When she was a part of the cast of Grey's Anatomy, she and her co-stars won a Screen Actors Guild (SAG) award for outstanding performance by an ensemble in a drama series. Now the actress is returning to the show that gave her a breakout role on TV. For now, Walsh will only be reprising the character of Addison for one episode. Considering she had a recurring role in multiple episodes just a few years ago, it's possible this guest spot could turn into even more appearances in the future. The 10 craziest couples in Grey's Anatomy history ranked. The doctors on Grey's Anatomy we've come to know and love for 22 seasons are excellent at taking care of other people's bodies, but when it comes to managing their own hearts, that isn't really the case. Nobody can judge their instinct to find a mate at work. Their jobs are insanely stressful, and they spend so much of their time in the hospital, they practically live there, making office romances inevitable. Naturally, not every pairing is going to be as healthy as the relationship between Ben, Jason George, and Bailey, Chandra Wilson. But good relationships don't necessarily make for addictive, can't look away TV, you need a little mess. So, in celebration of the mess, here are 10 of the craziest couples on Grey's Anatomy, ranked from kinda sus to total hot mess. 10. Derek Shepherd and Rose. The love story between Meredith Grey, Ellen Pompeo, and Derek Shepherd, Patrick Dempsey, remains one of the most significant in all of TV history. Which is why the love story between Derek and Rose, Lauren Stamley, just couldn't hold a candle to what he and Mare had. The painful truth was that Rose was really just a rebound option for Derek after he and Meredith initially broke up, and that manifested in their inability to connect on a deeper level and his coolness toward her after they had sex. Worse, Rose got a little vengeful after she and Derek fizzled out, pretending that she was pregnant was further proof this whole situation was not good for either of them. 9. Owen Hunt and Teddy Altman. After this couple's years of almosts, missed connections, physical distance over the seasons, and even an attempt at an open marriage, you'd think their eventual commitment would be built to last. But Owen's, Kevin McKidd, need for stability and slight control issues meant butting heads with Teddy's, Kim Raver, strong-willed nature. Things finally reached their breaking point, and they called it quits at the end of season 21. In hindsight, Teddy cheating on Owen on their wedding day was probably a bad omen. 8. Owen Hunt and Christina Yang. Owen really wanted to be a parent, and Christina, Sandra Oh, didn't, a conversation they definitely should have had before getting married. Yet when she was really clear that she didn't want her future to include diapers, things got ugly. He cheated on her and high-key manipulated her into feeling guilty for prioritizing her career, sawing through her confidence like a bone in the They finally got divorced, but not without what felt like an eternity of anguish. 7. Owen Hunt and Amelia Shepherd. Owen thought he was going to be able to create the family unit he so desperately wanted with Amelia, Katerina Scorsone, but their on-again, off-again partnership ended up being another strikeout. They too disagreed on starting a family, and Amelia's brain tumor caused her to make erratic, impulsive decisions that wore their dynamic down. His tendency to push made her withdraw, and their explosive fights made it evident their rushed marriage was a major oopsie. 6. Jackson Avery and Maggie Pierce. Who'd have thought dating your step-sibling would be a bad idea? Jackson, Jesse Williams, and Maggie Kelly McCreary were kinda doomed from the start due to the awkward nature of their situation, and with their constant fighting and Jackson's tendency to disappear, Jaggy was sometimes tough to witness. 5. Preston Burke and Christina Yang. Poor Christina put all her needs and boundaries on the back burner to be with the controlling Burke, Isaiah Washington, setting the standard for the show's most compelling bad romances. It totally wrecked us to see him humiliate her by calling off their wedding at the altar, giving them the dubious honor of having one of the most disastrous wedding ceremonies in Grey's Anatomy history. For Izzy Stevens and George O'Malley. Going from besties to lovers can be a beautiful blessing, or in the case of Izzy, Katherine Heigl and George T.R. Knight, a tragic mistake. They didn't exactly start off on the right foot, with that drunken one-night stand that ruined George's marriage to Callie, Sarah Ramirez, and their discovery that they couldn't recreate the same magic as that first night revealed a lack of chemistry. That, coupled with their guilt, did their romance in, shanking their friendship to death in the process. 3. Jackson Avery and April Kepner. Kicking off with a spontaneous sex sesh triggered by the stress of their medical board exams, Japril evolved into a model for a high-quality hot mess. After April, Sarah Drew moved on and got engaged to Matthew Taylor. Justin Bruning, Jackson had the bold audacity to stand up at their wedding and shout out his love for her. Their happily ever after hit severe road bumps with the death of their first child and a later divorce, but they were able to find their way back to each other. Still, their path rivaled Dorothy's in The Wizard of Oz in terms of intensity and the utterly insane things happening. 2. Izzy Stevens and Ghost Denny. Decades before ghosting became a thing in the popular lexicon, Izzy shocked audiences by dating a phantom. She and heart patient Denny Duquette, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, found love in season 2, but their bond was cut short by his heartbreaking death, which she was partly responsible for after cutting his LVAD wire to get him a transplant. But it was his return, in her mind, that got wild. In season 5, poor Izzy starts seeing Denny around the hospital and begins having full-on conversations, arguments, and even sex with him, which all ended up being signs of a tumor. Not exactly healthy, but hey, dating a ghost is easier than dating a human, eh? 1. Alex Karev and Ava/Rebecca Pope. Catching feelings for a patient who's suffering from amnesia is crazy work, and this storyline kept getting juicier and wilder as the seconds ticked on. Alex, Justin Chambers, not only stomped over doctor-patient ethics by getting googly-eyed for her but also went so far as to name the Jane Doe patient Ava, Elizabeth Reeser. Their bond got spectacularly twisted when she remembered her real name, Rebecca, and that she had a husband, which kickstarted a mental health spiral that included a suicide attempt. Alex eventually helped her get the care she needed, but the whole event was a long, strange trip indeed. Thanks for watching this videos. Please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up.